Is
But
Kashif with you?
yes, he is. Come,
Okay.
here, say, what do we say? Here.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Sure.
Oh, excellent. Well, I'm so glad that we were able to get together to meet.
Yes. Yeah, me too.
Kashif was working with Miss Rachel for exactly 3 years. He started January 31st, 2022. So I was like, wow, how funny that he ended,
Yeah.
January 31st, 2025.
Wow, I didn't know that part. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I just wanted to, kind of hear how you guys feel about how tutoring went for Kashif, and also talk to you about what his progress looks like on our end.
Before we dive into today's episode, we'd like to take a moment to thank our amazing sponsors who make this podcast possible. First up, we have 3D Learning Experts. If you or someone you love struggles with dyslexia, dyscalculia, or similar learning differences, 3D Learning Experts is here to help. They specialize in virtual tutoring for students of all ages. From first grade to adulthood, their expert tutors use the proven Orton-Gillingham method for language arts, structured and sequential program for writing success, and a multi-sensory approach to math. This ensures students enhance their reading, writing, spelling, and math skills in a way that suits their needs. Empowering students with confidence and success. That's what 3D Learning Experts is all about. To learn more, visit 3dlearningexperts.com. And when it's time to unwind, why not escape to fabulous Las Vegas with Casa Arce Vacations? Whether you're planning a quick getaway or a family reunion, Casa Arce Vacations offers 4 unique stays at one convenient location. Just under 3 miles from the Strip, choose from a cozy tiny house, 2 stylish studios, or a spacious 4-bedroom, 2-bath unit. All guests have access to amazing amenities, including a play pool, putting green, barbecue, fire pit, and each unit has its own private patio. Perfect for any occasion, they've got the ideal spot for your next adventure. Start planning your trip today at facebook.com/Casa RSA Vacations. Thank you to our sponsors for their support and for the incredible services they provide. Now, let's get back to today's episode.
So it was very good. He is able to now decode the spellings and able to follow the verbal sentences. His reading ability has been improved. This with all the sounds and other activities which Rachel used to do with him. So he is able to now decode the words and try to read with appropriate sounds and all that. So that is a big progress. Like I've been seeing when I say, okay, type this whole sentence, and he does without any problem. So that's the very good thing. And his spellings are 90% accurate in terms of he knows how to decode and what sound the different words make and all that. So yeah.
That's excellent. And I know, Kashif has apraxia and uses a device to help him, which that's our first student that he was our first student with apraxia. We now have another student who also has apraxia. So, it was a little bit of a learning curve. But I think we were able to provide him so much more benefit than traditional school. I mean, the 3 years that he was with us, you were struggling to get him any services in school. Could you share a little bit about his journey?
Yeah, so with the school, because of his apraxia and the accommodation and support he needed at that time, the school he was enrolled was not able to provide him. And that's where he was just going in that spiral thing, that going down and having behaviors, because no one was able to understand him and his needs and how to support him. So that was when we stumbled upon, Lexia Learner at that time. And one of the parents said that might work. This program might work for him. So I know this program is originally for kids with ADHD and all, but I said, well, I know his tendency is to spell and type very fast. At that time, also he was very good picking up things. So then I said, okay, we will just give it a shot and see. And then once the program started and the whole curriculum was like giving him that idea of the sounds of different words, and with my collaboration with my speech pathologist who has a specialty in apraxia, I talked to her, and her services, and in addition to this, was really reading program was helpful for him. Then he started now vocalizing those words, which was very challenge for him. So over time, yes. So then we learned, that the sounds of the word, now his brain is understands and recognize, and then he's saying also, he's spelling correctly. So that was a big leap for us from at that time, that, oh, okay, this is working with him. And then I was sharing what he was doing in with Miss Rachel, with his speech pathologist, and she said, yeah, that's what I'm also working. So it was kind of supplementary and complement to each other. And this is how he started then. He took off.
Well, that's excellent. Great to hear. How old are you now, Kashif?
How old are you?
I'm 40 years old.
That's great. So are you in high school now? You're a freshman in high school?
Yeah.
Wow. And now are you back in traditional school now?
Yes, it is a traditional brick and mortar school. Yeah.
Are you liking school better now, Kashif?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
And so you're still using your device. However, I could understand that you were saying yes, but that's great that you are. I mean, it's really important that he can spell so that he can type into the device, right? I mean, is that? Yeah.
And he's not only that, he's typing even regularly when he does his homework. And when we say, okay, what about this word? And he types online also on a regular, like a Google Doc or whatever format he's using for his homework. So he does.
And when he was tutoring, did you feel like you had to help him?
Not enough way that, like, I just wanted to make sure he listen, because of the auditory processing is another issue with him. And with technical things, sometimes it's hard to hear the other person. So I was there just to make sure he's understanding and following the direction. But mostly he was doing it by himself. But initially, like placing some of the placements for tongue. So I was helping him that this is how, when Miss Rachel was giving them demonstration online, because it's hard to mimic online for him. So then I was able to have him do the same thing, like where the tongue placement is. So those kind of physical, giving him those cues that where the mouth and tongue and the teeth and others, the placement of the mouth is in terms of speak. So that was speech wise. So that was the one I was just supporting him. But other than that, he was able to follow the direction. But later, he was pretty independent. We were not helping him unless he doesn't understand what the person was. So I just repeat the question for him. But he's doing by himself now.
That's excellent.
Following, yeah.
Yeah, because you're not in school with him, so we want him to be able to work independently.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's where now we are focusing on more for him to be advocate for his needs and being more independent.
That's excellent. And so have you guys thought about what comes next after high school, or you're just focusing on high school right now?
Right now, we are just, because we are thinking of going through that, not the traditional high school track, but the longer one. So there will be some stuff we are trying to incorporate with his curriculum, like vocational stuff, and he is interested in computer. So we will be looking into that. So that's what right now my focus is, what our resources are available. Then friendship, like having some buddies and friendship, so he can hang out with the boys of his age and all that kind of stuff we are focusing on. So the school is like we said that since high school regular track is pretty stressful, so we said that we can spread out his curriculum. He's taking regular classes, not modified or anything, but just spread out so he can then slowly, gradually be more successful with that. So, for example, now he did the STAR math test and he leveled up, and teacher said he is at the 9th grade level, because when the algebra he started, and Miss Rachel already did that algebra basic concept, so he was picking up very quickly.
Awesome.
With those. So yeah, so now we are just looking into now he's growing and becoming older. So what are the needs and how to tackle those things for him?
Yes, well, that's wonderful. And his sister, is she still in high school?
Yeah, she will be she's senior, so she will be graduating this year. So yeah.
So will she be going off to college?
Yeah, she will be this year.
So it'll just be him at home.
Yeah, so that will be, yeah. I think he's not ready for that, but we'll see. Yeah.
But don't do what I did. When all my kids left, I let my youngest son have a dog. It ended up becoming mine and my husband's responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I am also, okay, well, that's what, then I don't want another person to take care of. So yeah, that's what
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's why we are looking. Yeah, that's why I was thinking. Yeah, there are some here the groups like Boys and Girls Club and all that. So my other thing is right now looking into that and maybe find some friend through that for him so he can hang out after school and do certain things over the weekend.
No, that'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you had such a hard journey with getting assistance and financial assistance from the schools.
Yeah.
Do you want to share any of that to help other parents, understand or?
Yeah. So yeah, because with the IEP and special need kids, it's always a tough battle and the battle with schools because they do say yes, there is a law to support kids with disability and integrate them into regular environment, but technically they don't do that. That's why he was always in segregated environment and the learning was every day year I was noticing he was doing the same thing over and over, same story reading over and over. And then I talked to different people who were advocates and were knowledgeable about disability law and learned that that's not the point, that he should be integrated. The more you integrate, and then I learned through the research and talking to other parents that the more these kids are integrated, the more flourish because they also want to learn like other kids, but it's just their social interaction is a little different. So then people don't understand what's going on in their mind. So that's where I picked up those things and started talking with other people. And then with the school district, it was such a big battle that, well, he doesn't speak. And then I said, but he can use a device. He has a device. Why not someone to train him, and the person who support him should know. So this way, this whole process started. So they agreed that, okay, some part of the day he can go. When he was in second grade, then actually first grade, I said he needs to go at least in one class with the regular kid every day. And they agreed to it. And then I went and observed him in that environment, and he was so happy surrounded by those kids, and they all were intrigued with his device because he was communicating and using that. So kids were really, and some of the kids were really good with him, that to be his friend. So then I said that, and I observed him in that environment where he was segregated with other kids, and he was attacked in front of me. He was attacked by other kids because he was having aggression issues.
Oh, really?
I realized that, okay, so this is where it's true that when he's there, his behaviors are not there. And then we were having this data of his behavior. And when he comes back to this segregated environment, his behavior shoots up and he has aggression and all that. So then over that time, we have this pandemic occurred, and then whole thing was online schooling, which was pretty new, and I was pretty afraid how he will be really tolerating sitting in front of screen all the time. But we learned when he was in was less destructive environment, and not with those kids, some of the behavior just disappear within a week time.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I said, wow, this was something. That means this was an environment. He was there pretty 6 hours a day or 7 hours a day with the same environment. And he was really picking up with other kids and was frustrated. Nobody was listening what he needed all the time. The aides and other people were giving him this iPad to play YouTube videos. That's what he was doing. So then we had a settlement with the school that, okay, we need a aide who can teaching aide who support him how to work through the school classes and do the homework. And then he picked up and he actually ended up presenting the whole social study group presentation using his device with online school. And the teacher was very good and she was supporting him, and he enjoyed. And this is how the whole, and at that time we actually started with you guys. So then I was just exploring what supplemental things we can provide him, because there was a learning loss for him and he was behind in so many things. So then we added this tuition and tutoring and all that, and it helped him. And he then finally took off with that. And now he's taking
story.
Yeah, and now he takes all these regular testing, and he sits there. We have some accommodation for him to read because long passages are difficult for him to read and he gets tired, but he listened to that audio and he answers, and he just trying to be more responsible. So that's where we are now with him, that okay, and his behaviors are totally gone. He's no longer aggressive or throwing tantrum, and it was just he's a different person. And I think that basically that's what we learned, that he needed to be have an avenue to voice himself, what his needs are, what he wants to do. And that's where we are now with him, that, yeah, this is very important. You have to self-advocate for yourself. So, yeah.
Mhm. And so is he starting to advocate for himself at school?
Yes, that's the couple of goals we have right now, which
Uh-huh.
is, and then now he's more like when he's stuck, so he asks for that. I need you to repeat the question, or I need help. And that's what he was doing with Rachel. Rachel also, that if he didn't understand, he always say, okay, can you please repeat or help me?
Mhm.
And I need more time to do that. So these are the things we are telling him to say. And it's okay to say no sometimes. That if you don't want to do something, just say, I don't want to do it. That's fine. You don't have to please people. Whatever your mind says, just speak up. That's
Uh-huh.
what we are teaching him now.
You know, and that's good self-advocacy for anyone, right? Like,
Correct.
yeah, no one should have to do something that if they don't feel like they are prepared at that moment to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So we are just now focusing more, and luckily over the time I gather up some of the expert in this area who are experienced, and they also help him and us that how to work to have him learn and grow. So some of these the speech pathologist, and there are very few, only few who understand this situation and helped us out in this. So it was, yeah. So now I feel like, yeah, that was also helpful, that he got that right people at the right time.
Uh-huh. Well, you worked very hard to find all of
Oh,
his
yeah.
team.
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, it's just you go through, and yeah.
So, what is the percentage of people who have apraxia?
Well, now since I am part of this organization called TACA, which is a community for autism, and it's a local. It started here in Orange County. Now it's kind of a big thing. All around the world, people are part of this thing, and through that, I learned that within autism, apraxia is now. I'm hearing now. Okay, and I've attended lectures. It's hard to tell what percent is, but it's 5 to 10% among autistic kids who don't.
So he has autism as well?
Yeah, so it is
I
autism
didn't
plus.
remember that if I knew
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So autism plus apraxia, he has both. But with his situation, when I see him, it's not autism is a problem, because we have him tested twice with experts, and they said he doesn't have intellectual disability. It's more like apraxia, and also some of the sensory processing is an area where he needs some time. So he needs to do certain sensory kind of a plan where he can jump and regulate himself, and then do the task is much easier on him. And as he's growing, so we see that he is more like his body is now more adjusted, and he's more regulated. Like right now, he's sitting and listening to our conversation with us. So yeah.
Is your child struggling with school, feeling overwhelmed? Introducing 3D Learning Experts, your child's personal tutor. Our expert educators provide personalized, one-on-one support tailored specifically to teach to your child's learning style. We specialize in helping students with dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, and similar learning challenges. Our tutors are trained to provide effective strategies for reading, spelling, writing, and math. With our innovative virtual platform, your child can learn from the comfort of their own home. No more commuting or scheduling conflicts. Give your child the boost they need to succeed. Experience the difference with 3D Learning Experts.
Kashif, do you ever do yoga?
Yes.
Yes, because yoga is really good for helping with the regulating.
Like
You like it?
Yeah.
play
What do you like to play?
basketball.
Oh,
Yeah. he likes basket. Now over last couple of years, he's doing gymnastics, basketball, and I'm planning to enroll him in a team now.
oh, that's wonderful.
And running and all that. Yeah.
And are you part of the regional center?
Yes. So
Well, up here where we've moved to in Northern California, there's a program called Meristem, and it's for adults 18 to 24 who are on the spectrum.
right.
So I definitely recommend you look into it for him, because he would be able to, they live on campus and they're able to interact with other people who are neurodiverse and the staff. My son works at the cafe there.
Okay.
He didn't qualify for regional center, and it was way out of our affordability if you don't qualify for regional center.
Oh yeah, exactly. That is true. Yeah. So here also that's what I'm working right now. They do have a program for now. He is getting older and he's in his teens. So I have started planning with regional center, like what are the different beside out of school, like a social and recreational things he can do with other kids, and they wanted him to be integrated with the neurotypical kids of his age. So that's what we are now looking into activities for him.
Yeah. So Meristem's kind of like college. They do classes. They live on campus.
Yeah.
They and the classes.
There is one program here at UCI. We call it Best Buddy Program. UCI offers the similar. I think most of the colleges do have these type of programs. Since my daughter was applying and she was telling me almost all colleges have some kind of a program where they integrate neurodiverse kids and they have, so yeah. So,
that's excellent. Well, that's great to know that it's available all over the country.
Yeah, at least in California. Yeah.
Yeah. So what advice would you give other parents considering tutoring for their nonverbal child?
Yeah, I think it's consistency is good. One of the key thing for them, like initially it is challenging because this is the new thing, and we all know new thing is always makes people nervous. We all, for someone tell us to do some new skill, it's always we get anxious or stressed. So that's very normal, and we just need to push them and encourage them to stay on it. So consistency is one thing. I learned that with him, when I'm consistent, and he will get it. So that's very important. If you find someone who click with your child, then just stick with them until you feel like, okay, it's time to move on. So consistency helped us a lot with him, and having a schedule and making him like, okay, this is the time you have to do this. So that was helpful for us. And repetition in certain areas, because of apraxia, it's very difficult for these kids to say and pronounce or enunciate words. So just be patient and practice help them to overcome that. Right? We are not even completely out of the woods, but at least we are having him keep going, and now we see that progress. It looks little, sometimes my husband say it's very slow, but I said, but sure, it is slow, but at least I see where he was and now where he is at.
Right. The fact that he's on grade level is just fabulous.
Yeah. So that's why I said, like, that's why I like the school, and it took us a while because, he has IEP, he has so many goals, but I said, yeah, but one thing he really liked was school all the time. That's the only thing he understands. And now he is now into sports and all that. But when he was young, he always said, I want to go to school. That was the thing he wants to do. So it's just like, it's the patience and, consistency and determination helped him to grow. And yeah, we are still working on that with him.
Well, he's lucky to have you as a mom be there to support him and help him along the way as long as he needs it. So
yeah, thank you.
It's a lot of hard work and commitment, all that you've had to do to fight the schools and to help him and everything. So kudos to you.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I just tell parents out there that don't give up and just make they also like challenging, put them in a challenging situation and let them grow out of, the other kids, like I have a neurotypical kid and she's always smart, and I always see him. I never feel that he's not smart. So believing in your child is very important. Like you believe that they can also do like any other kid, then things changes. Otherwise it's hard. Then sometimes I see parents also, because as a mentor, I now support other parents also who comes, and I always tell them, no, I know it's very tough. It's very challenging. It's you have sit back, but just move on and just feel like, okay, it's okay, I'll take some break, but let me just go with it. And I said, it's tough. It's not that easy, but you will see the reward at the end.
Well, that's great that you're giving back and volunteering and helping the next generation of parents understand how to navigate this journey for their children.
Yeah. And that's what we said. Okay, there are certain things. Okay, we know it won't happen, but there are other things which are there is strength. Just work with it, and things will, fall then together, and will be okay.
So impressed that both of you, all the hard work that you two have put in, and it was definitely well worth it, because he's,
Yeah.
sounds like he will be able to do whatever he sets his heart to do.
Yeah, we believe in that's what we are telling him, that whatever you like to do, you don't feel like you can't. It's just a matter of your hard work and determination, what you want to do. So
Yes. Well, you guys, thank you again for meeting with me, and I really appreciate you letting me record you and share this so that other parents can hear how well he did and be encouraged by his success.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was nice. Like, you can give our regard to Miss Rachel, and she was amazing. He really liked working with her.
That's
So
excellent. I'm glad to hear that too.
yeah.